All right, for this lesson, we're going to be doing Cinnamon Girl by Neil Young. Cool rockin' tune. I love Neil Young, so I'm always glad to get some Neil Young requests. The first thing you need to know about this tune is we got a tune to drop D tuning. So you're going to tune your E string, your low E string down to a D, and you're going to tune your high E string down to a D. A lot of times when you do drop D, sometimes you only tune the low E string down. In this case, we're going to tune both the low E string and the high E string down. So it should sound like that for your high E string, and sound like this for your low E string. So that way when we play a D chord, if you don't play the high E string, you get this nice, low, beefy sound. Okay, so that's what he's got going on for this tune. So, not crazy hard tune. And then we're into the verse. So that's the intro. So we're going to play basically, you could get by with just playing just power chords, but I'm actually playing like a power chord on C here, but I'm barring with my third finger all the fifth fret, E, B, G, and D strings. So you can get all those if you want. You don't have to, but so it's going to slide up to a D power chord. So it's and then from there we do this little lick, and that's just third fret A to second fret A to open A. You bar the third fret, E and A string, and D if you want it, and then the fifth fret, same thing. So you can do that, you can do this, anything, whatever feels comfortable. The second time you just hang on the G, on the third fret. You don't go up to the fifth fret. So far we got same thing as the first time. Now the fourth time, same as the second. Okay, easy enough. Now we're into the verse. The verse is going to use a D chord, but you're not going to play the high E string. You can hit the low E string and the A string and the low E string if you want. And he hits the chord and then he arpeggiates a lot. And don't get too caught up in the specific arpeggiation of the chord. You just try to get the vibe of it because it's different every time. So then I go to an A minor 7 chord. So first finger on the first fret of the B string, second finger on the second fret of the D string. I want all those to ring out. Now on that chord, you can hit the high E string and you want to, it's emphasized. So I'm just kind of hitting the chord and then arpeggiating up. Then it's a C, so all you gotta do is add your third finger. And then a G over B. So I'm moving my second finger up, my first finger stay in the same spot, and then I add my pinky or my third finger to the third fret of the B string. So alright, that's the verse. Now it does this little riff. And that's third fret to fifth fret, E and A string. Then I'm hitting the open A and D string. Now I'm playing a C power chord to a D power chord. Okay, and then we come here and grab this. Like you were playing an A minor 7, but you're only gonna hit the D, G, and B strings. So you're on, off, on. Then you hit an A power chord, and you leave so you can hit this open E string. Don't hit the B string. So real slow, that sounds like. And then we're back into the verse. So let me do a verse, a whole verse. We're back into that main riff. Okay? The only other part we got here is the bridge, which goes to a C major chord, to a G minor, which in this case we're just going to bar the 3rd fret of the D, G, B, and high E string. And then we go to an A major chord. And then it goes back into verse harmonic structure, but there's a little solo. So one more time on the bridge. And we're back into the. Okay, so that's all the parts. Now the solo, man, he's just really riding one note, a D, on the 3rd fret. And at the end, he hits 3rd fret and 5th fret G string to 4th fret G string. So. Into that. You'll hear it when you listen to it, and that's pretty much it. It sounds cool though, because that root note D is basically a pedal tone throughout all these 4 chords. But so it's cool when you just ride the one note. And he's kind of giving it some vibrato. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the solo. Now you got that little thing at the end. So it ends on this riff. So it's C, D, D, D. And you really want to make sure you hit this low E string. Get that low D ringing out. And it rings out, and then he does this thing. Something like that. I don't know exactly what it is. You can listen to it, but I can tell you the 3 things he's doing, and you can kind of decide what order you want to do it in. You're holding a D chord without your 2nd finger down. Don't play the high E string. Okay, now since you got this 2nd finger loose, you're going to play open A, hammer onto the 3rd fret A, and then play the D and G strings like a D power chord. you do the same thing on the D string. Now there's another third thing he does where he hammers on from the 2nd fret to the 3rd fret of the G string. So it's a combination of those 3 licks that he's doing. And I know at the end he just hits the low D string, a low E string to have that low D. So that's pretty much it. It's not real difficult, but it's very cool. It's a fun tune to play. So I hope you enjoy that one. That's Cinnamon Girl by Neil Young.